In this video, we're gonna learn how to create an accessible PDF form using Venngage. Welcome to the Accessibility Guy channel. My name is Sean Jorson, and let's jump into the ring. All right, the first thing I wanna do is create a new design. I'm going to select new design, and then I'm going to search for blank so I can make a blank canvas. And then under the Elements tab, I'm going to go to Forms, and this is where we can add some accessible form fields. Now before I do that, let's go ahead and add in some text. I can put in a heading and we'll say application, and then let's throw on some paragraph text and we'll say please fill out the form. And then let's go to our Elements button and let's select the short text field. And in here, it's defaulted to have the word name. If I double click the field, it allows me to come over here to the field type and change it to either text, email, password, date, or number. And then we also have our label, and it could be something like enter first and last name. And then we could also add in a long text form, and we could say, please tell us about yourself. And then we can make the box bigger by simply dragging it over. We could also enter placeholder dummy text or change the layout of how this is inlaid in the form. We could then add a selection field. This appears to be a list of radio buttons. For now, we'll go ahead and leave them as is. And then finally, we can add in a signature field. Now that we've made our form in Venngage, let's go ahead and go to the File button and run the accessibility checker. Check for accessibility, check my design. Looks like we have passing color contrasts, and it's saying we need to check for alternate text, reading order, headings, use of color. I believe we're good because we've done all of this, except for the document title. So this is going to be sample application form. And then let's see, we're gonna set the English language. Perfect. Then we can go to tag order, and we could adjust how the reading order is gonna come through. I'm just going to validate by clicking along. Everything looks great. Let's go ahead and download our file as a PDF. And now I'm going to open it in Adobe Acrobat. And step one is to open up the tags panel. We can see that application is in H1. We have our next field, and then we have our P tag with our correctly identified form field. And then we have a P tag with interesting radio buttons that are entered as individual form fields. And then we also have a signature field, which will need to be nested inside of a P tag. So I'm going to do new tag, P tag, and let's get that form field in there. Now let's go ahead and just run the accessibility checker, prepare for accessibility, check for accessibility, start checking, and it passes this. I actually just want to check these buttons. Interesting. Typically when I see radio buttons, they are not formatted in individual P tags, but it is working appropriately. So I'm going to launch the PAC 2024 tool now, and let's drop in our form, and it appears that it is passing both our PDF UA and WCAG checks. That concludes today's video on how to create an accessible PDF using Venngage. If you want to try out Venngage for yourself, there's a link in the description of this video. Now, I would say this doesn't have the full functionality for more complex PDF forms, but it is a great choice to use for simple documents, and it feels pretty easy to make them accessible all within the Venngage platform. With that said, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.